It's 7 o'clock. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Today is Monday, September 5th, and just leaving Starbucks. Grabbed a small cup of coffee and a refill. So I will work on my refill. And not sure where I'm going to go for a run this morning. A couple of possibilities. One is out at Lake Nakamixon, maybe the paved part of the park. Another option is around town, or trail Margie and I were on yesterday. It's an out and back, really nice trail in between some neighborhoods. I was expecting it to be a little more neighborhoody, but it really is out in the woods. However, there was a bear sighted near there yesterday, so I did a little reading up on what to do if you encounter a bear. Yikes. Looked like a small bear, but still, bears are dangerous. The reason why I was thinking about going in town is when I arrived at church yesterday, one of the pastors came to me and just had gotten an email from one of the people who works in the town, and she said that an owner of a business there unexpectedly died. Leaves behind a wife and young children. So I'm not sure what happened, but haven't seen any news on it yet. But it really is a tragic. I don't know if it was the owner or the chef. He said the chef, but the name they mentioned is the name of the owner, and the name of the business is called Carlton Cafe. So more news to come on that. All right, well, as I make my way to my destination, I will put a pause on this and then pick back up. Okay, I have chosen as my starting point this new trail that Margie and I went on yesterday. It is called the Unami Creek Trail, and I am at the Cumry, K-U-M as in Mary, R-Y, Cumry Trailhead. And just getting started here. Trying to get started here. I want to. What do I want to do? For some reason, my run is acting funny. All right, so it's 1.7 miles to Unami Creek Park, which I'm not sure we really got to yesterday. So I might extend it a little bit. We'll see how that goes. All right, finally got my run to cooperate. It's a cool morning, about 53 degrees. My feet are a little stiff this morning as I start out. The sun is just up, but playing hide and seek with early morning clouds. And we're going up to the mid-80s today. So happy Labor Day, everybody. Celebrating that we all have had jobs. Of course, I am still contemplating a change. Haven't gotten real serious, but it's something that I'm considering. There are a couple of ladies who started on the trail a few minutes before me, so at this point, if they run into a bear first, I should see. This is a mostly paved path, and the location is outside of a town called Trumbauersville. Trumbauers. And we'll walk the hill. Ville. Trumbauersville, Pennsylvania. Just west of Quakertown. Maybe 3 or 4 miles. No stoplights. Maybe there is. Yeah, there is one stoplight, but not in town. Closer to the elementary school. But it has a main stop sign. Alright. Oh yeah. Guess I should get my timer going. I forget that sometimes. And there we are. It's a really scenic, well kept, and paved. And right now chilly with just a tech t-shirt on. So the plans for today, maybe deliver a used desk to the office that I picked up yesterday. That for $25. I can't go wrong. I think I need to stop by my father-in-law's for some missing screws. And then I think we're looking to clean out the outbuildings that I never got to on Saturday. Right, well, I'll just keep making progress here and carry on. This got majorly barked at by a dog I think we met yesterday, named Shadow. It's like a black lab. The owner said it was a rescue. And he has a golden lab buddy named Moses. Right now I'm running through the development. On the sidewalk it has little mosaics. Every now and then it says Unami Trail. Let you know you're not lost. But you can go around, and I will on the way back, as we did on the way back yesterday. There's a little spur that does not take you through this development. It's called the Hidden Pond Spur. Over by our house in Quakertown, we have a Hidden Ponds development behind the field that surrounds us.
56 seconds. Distance 1.00 miles. Average pace 11.
tried to get a picture yesterday of either a,
There's an ice cream shop up in heaven.
I think it was just
Just kidding.
a juvenile great blue heron. Should check my bird book for green herons and compare, because it may have been green. So it's catching up here with the other side of that spur. The end of this trail is interesting. It's a paved path. Most of the time. So right near the end, the paved path continues straight, but there's a turnoff that goes up a steep little hill that's wood chips. And that is actually the correct path. It takes you over to Allentown Road. We were told that the sidewalk just kind of ends, which is pretty normal around here. You know, the new code says put in a sidewalk, and then they don't link it to anything. So we're not sure why the sidewalks just don't connect to something else, or at least look finished off. Anyway, I plan on taking this up the trail, which is right here. And so yeah, the pavement ends here. Pick up the wood chips. Pretty steep ascent. Let's keep the short steps. And then through the park to the road. And then hang a left to where Unami Creek Park actually is. Which is at the cross between horses have been here. Cross between gotta catch my breath a little. Cross between Allentown Road and Mill Road. So kind of connecting the Trumbowersville areas to Milford Square. Okay. So it's just a wood chip trail through this little end of the park. Margie was a little turned around as to where we were. Until she saw the road approaching called something hill, Folks Mill Road. We have a friend there who is a carpet layer. Alright, on the downhill. The sidewalk at Folks Mill. Running toward Yanami Creek. There's a little bridge for the traffic on Allentown Road. Wow, that's quite a hill going up the other way. And Mill Road is closed ahead. Sure what's going on, but it's been closed for a while. So this little spot becomes an ice skating rink similar to the one in Quakertown. So you can see it's all dug out. Nice stocked trout waters. What? There's a historical marker. Campbell's Bridge, 1905. It has the old, it looks like marble marker, and then they put in a current one with more information. It's nice they preserved the old one. Yeah, trout stocked water. So I guess the creek here, Yanami Creek, gets stocked with trout. Yeah, right now this road should go through to something called Hillcrest, but I don't remember there being a bridge there, but the road is closed nonetheless. And for a while, Milford Square Pike had its road closed, so people on the other side of the bridges were really cut off from Milford Square Pike and easy access to get onto one of the bigger roads. So I always had to backtrack a bit. Alright, I think I've caught my breath. The creek waters are low, as I think I've been reporting elsewhere, but it still runs gently. Coming up to a closure here. No hunting permitted signs. Yeah. Let's see. There's a little parking area. So they've got a parking area next to the ice skating rink. And then a little turnabout here where the road is closed. I'm trying to imagine if there's a bridge on this road that maybe wore away. So why it's closed. Usually it's due to an unsafe crossing. And Milford Square has a little airport. I don't know if it's considered the Quakertown Airport or... Yeah, I'm not sure. But if you are visiting and have your pilot's license, well, there you go. Used to know a fellow who gave flight lessons. I think he had a Cessna. And then things like 4th of July, they give plane rides during the fireworks display, so that way you can see them from the air. We've seen balloon festivals, carnivals, things like that there. We have a couple of friends who are, maybe more than a couple, who are volunteers for the Milford Square Fire Department. See some people out on the Unami Creek Trail. Let's see, still not seeing a reason for the closure of this road. Stop sign and a closure. What is that? Just Hillcrest Road. So today's more exploring and enjoying the day because there's no hard schedule. There's Hillcrest and there's the road closure, but I don't know why it's closed. So we'll tag the stop sign and then turn around and go back. Yeah, I just got a pile of rocks here. A road closed sign. There's the tap. Sandbags to weight the sign down. But maybe I'll be more observant on the way back as to why this might be closed. I really didn't see anything other than maybe the township or whoever is responsible for upkeep doesn't want to do that. I don't know. Yeah, see if I can keep a better watch for something going under the road to the creek. But for right now, nothing. Carlos, I was listening a little more closely to your 11-minute podcast with Mavis. I appreciated your lighthearted interactions with her. So, yeah, she sounded to be struggling a little bit here and there. So thanks for the notes on that. Oh, yeah, goodness gracious. Updates. Sorry it took so long to get into the podcast for this, but let's see. Update first on mother-in-law. We got to visit her on Saturday afternoon. So we caught my father-in-law caught, meaning we ran into him as he was leaving. We were coming. It's a big hospital. There's lots of areas to explore. So we opted for free off-street parking, which meant we needed to walk. And so Margie was pretty astounded that we ran into her dad. So her mom was doing all right. Margie thought certainly improved over the day before. More coherent, you know. After surgery, you've got all of that anesthesia in you, messing with you. And so we got there first. She was asleep. So for an hour, we let her sleep, and then a nurse needed to take her blood pressure, and that woke her up. Sorry about the plane noise. Good grief. It's usually car noises for me. So Marilyn is doing better, and they finally moved her yesterday to out of ICU. We still don't know why she was in ICU for so long, but she's now in a regular room, and then probably tomorrow she'll be moved to a rehabilitation place that we're familiar with called Pine Run. Don't see any good reason the road is closed. Unless it's to keep the trout from being disturbed. And then for the Mitchell update, Margie talked to him on Saturday. And things are not so bad as they first were seeming. He was called into the owner of the company's office, and the owner was not a happy man. And said, hey, we've poured into you. We've taught you what you know. Aren't you happy here? Why do you want to leave? So, something we were concerned about and we're praying about was that Mitchell would keep his cool. I think probably Wednesday night he was not keeping his cool, but when he had to go see the owner, he kept his cool. And he said, you know, you're right. You have taught me a lot, and I owe you a lot. It's been a great place to get started and learn. And the only reason why I'm looking elsewhere is the job is just what I want to be doing over there. So he was able to present everything nice and positively. All right, I am exiting Minami Creek Park and up a little hill, not as steep as the other side, back to more the trail head or the trail end. Not sure what you would call that. Anyway, picking up the trail that I first started on. So it was good to hear that Mitchell knew how to show his appreciation, explain everything in a positive light. And then he had a nice success where some of the articles he was working on were featured on a high traffic site that many of you would probably know, may know, if you're a political junkie on the conservative side. So these are not articles he wrote. Since he works for a PR firm, it's to get them exposure. And so he did. And he was his supervisor, who he butts heads with, said to him, "Hey, let me know how I can help." That can be read two ways. It can be, "Hey, I've been there. And you need help." Like a good word. And the other way is, "Oh, wouldn't I be glad to get you out from under my care?" Now we'll look at it on the positive side. All right, back to the trail and soon to the downward slope under the chips. And then the other folks said, "Oh, don't worry. They need us more than we need them. They're not going to do anything." So, and his present employer said, "Look, hey, if you must go, we won't stand in the way." Down we go. Keep the legs in motion. And then trying to keep my progress too much. Alright. It's early, but I'll take a walk break. So that's the where the high drama leaves us from the other day. Now maybe this doesn't sound like high drama, but you've never lived with Mitch, so things can get pretty dramatic at times. But he's really grown in the way he responds to things. Now maybe initially I can imagine him not responding so well, calming down, and then being able to see things more clearly. But I think even in that, he's really grown to be upset, but wait until you're in an appropriate place or by yourself to express your frustration. That could be tears, it could be shouting, I don't know. Some sort of healthy outlet. No offers have been made, but at least it sounds like the waters have been smoothed where he's currently swimming. And there's the possibility of him swimming to a bigger pond. He said one of the questions that his interviewer asked was, so do you like what you're doing? He said, yeah, I do. Like some of the involvement. I mean, it's, like everything else. There's things you wish were different or better. But rare is the opportunity to be in a place where everything is rosy all the time. So he later thought about that conversation, and he thought, I think that was a leading question, like, all right, how hard, how much, how difficult is it going to be to lure him out of where he is? If he loves what he's doing, then maybe we're barking up the wrong tree. Or maybe we need to make a good offer. So he made sure he contacted that person again and said, I really am interested in this position. So just trying to be thoughtful. All right, I'm picking up the Hidden Pond Spur. Grass, some sort of, maybe there was a wood chip trail here, but it's really overgrown. Yeah, I took a million shots of this heron yesterday, hoping I could get a clear one, but when you zoomed in on the photo, nothing was too clear, so probably had trouble focusing on the right spot. The interesting thing is, we never scared it away, ultimately away. It moved a little bit from us, but eventually stayed put, like, oh, you're no threat. All you're doing is shielding yourself from me behind a little rectangular doohickey. Which is, of course, better than a long stick with a cylinder at the end. But herons aren't hunted by humans, to my knowledge. Okay, coming up on the hidden pond. We were commenting on its serenity when we spotted the bird. There's no activity. The water is pretty still. Not going to grab a shot. When Margie spotted the heron. There's a couple of benches here, and a couple with the dogs that we met placed one of them here. So I think just as I entered in and I had that I mentioned a dog barking. Must have been their house, an old farmhouse. All right, I passed the pond. Winding by a little water and headed over to a bridge over the creek. To pavement. Little downward slope. This bridge built by Colonial Bridge in Alexandria, Virginia. It's steel beamed with wood planks. They've cleared out some of the trees from alongside the trail here. Not sure what that's about. I hope that pulse isn't correct. 150? You know, I don't know if having 2 cups of coffee before running benefits me that way. Maybe it raises my heart rate to begin with. We'll see. I only took a quarter of my medicine last night. Normal dose now is a half. I thought, well, I'm hoping to go out for more than 3 miles. We'll just make sure we take some, but just not as much. I'll see how that plays out. Yeah, a couple that we met out here with the dogs yesterday said they come out every day between 2 and 3 o'clock and walk their dogs. Obviously retired.
Morning. How are you?
Good morning. It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
Yes. So he said they are out here probably 300 days a year.
Activity pause.
And probably some of those days are not here. They're vacationing or too busy or something, you know. But nice couple. Speaking of said cups of coffee, yeah. Hear about the privacy on this trail. These little connector roads to the development. tell you how far it is to whichever way you're going. So I think this says 0.4 of a mile to where I parked. Did not sleep well last night. Just tossed, turned. Something was gurgling in my stomach too much for me to get settled completely. An incline for me. Morning. Give you the running sounds as I trek upward. Morning. Okay. Done ascending. And begin a little descent. A decent descent. There's a little incline back to the car. Not bad. And there we level out. Alright, well, this is Steve, and I'm about at the Cymru Road trailhead of the Unami Creek Trail. And we made it all the way to Hillcrest Road off of Mill Road, just to see what we can see. Sun is up and shining through streaky clouds, and it's headed toward bluer sky, it looks like. This is Anna's final day of work. Now, final day of work at the pool usually means all hands on deck, because at the end they've got to put away everything for the season. They've got to put away all the chase lounges, all the tables, all the umbrellas, and basically batten down the hatches until next year. So I imagine spiffy up the bathrooms nicely is also in order, which Anna does well there. I think her boss assigns her that duty because she does a good job compared to others. So she's not as appreciative of his appreciation. Okay, well, happy Labor Day, everyone. Thankful to be working under good conditions, not slavish. And that about wraps up this Labor Day. So have a great day, everyone, and a good week to boot. Until next time.